everybody, it's me Sylvia again. How are you guys doing today? I hope you guys are doing great out there. In this video, I want to talk or to address to you uh, about the reason behind my decision in serving you this video in full English. Uh, some of you out there who watch one of my videos or even never watched any of it before and only watching this video in particular and knowing or noticing that I'm supposed to be a person who speaks language that is not English, since I am neither English, Australian, or even American. uh, Probably wondering to themselves or even laughing, thinking, what am I doing here? Uh, why am I speaking in English when I am I am an Indonesian, and Indonesian is supposed to speak Indonesian, of course, right? So what am I doing here? Am I trying so hard to fit in? Am I trying so hard to impress others? So what am I doing exactly trying to speak to people in this video in full English? Uh, well, I don't know about you, but sometimes when you tell people that you do makeup, uh, they tend to think that you're just another stupid girl trying to act smart, or you actually have a very ugly face, but you try to cover your ugliness by making yourself look beautiful to make yourself feel better. Well, there are that type of people, but that is not the case in here. That's not the case in here. First and foremost, I want to tell you that one thing I really hate the most is uh, when I am being faced with people who act like they know me, but the fact is they don't. And when I said people, I meant those who are not close to me. Well, of course. For example, uh, when when whenever whenever people listen to the word makeup, they automatically reverse the word with stupid girl. For example, makeup equals stupid girl. Well, I believe there are lots of factors that help to contribute to that very term that makeup equals stupid girl. Uh, I mean, when women meet with makeup, they tend to forget to take their brains with them. Well, I don't know about you, but I just want to leave it there. I will leave you. Uh, I will leave it to you about that very judgment when it comes to whether you are agree or whether you agree or disagree with the phrase. I mean, that is not something that I would like to address in here, so I'll leave it to you for further disagreement, agreement, for further discussion or confrontation about the very judgment. I'll leave it to you, I just want to ask you to see things from different perspective, from different side, from different angle. I mean, uh, what is wrong in the case where some women use makeup to make up all of uh, all of difficulties that are heading in their ways. I mean, uh, women use makeup to make up all of the difficulties areas in their life and to take advantage out of their hard situation so they can take side on you. Guess what? In that case, I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. I am 100% in that phrase. I mean, you are telling me that it is wrong to make a living by doing the right thing. what am I not a woman? What a woman should do. I mean, regardless your gender, regardless your gender, I believe we are obligated to take care of ourselves. I mean, men sometimes can look so good and clean, let alone a woman. I mean, you prefer a girl with hair full of lices, uh, face filled with cystic acne, pimples, bodies filled with scabies, something like that. I am not trying to make fun or to address people who have physical condition in their lives. My heart goes to that kind of people. I am talking about people who are born normal. I mean, what is the meaning? What do you think is the true definition of being grateful? How do you show to people that you accept the way you are? You accept the way you look. I mean, you accept the way you look from the start by doing what you simply maintain it. Simply maintain it. So you take care of it. You know what I'm saying? So or what do you think about those girls who abused their beauty? For example, you were telling me that you prefer a girl who, you know, tried to make a living based on the sex service, like those porn stars and prostitutes, strippers. I'm not trying to judge. I'm not against them. I am myself still far from perfect. I used to abuse myself not by doing performing myself on the pole literally like those strippers, no, but I believe the word abused or ab- I believe the word like abusing itself comes in all different forms. In my case, the way I abuse myself is when I didn't do anything when challenges were being thrown at me. I just abandoned myself. That's why my body used to look and my face used to look so bad due to my ungratefulness for like little things. Which there are lots of people out there. Uh, there are lots of people out there who have to deal with serious cases of physical condition, uh, way more serious compared to what I had back then. That is how stupid I was. I didn't treat myself right. Uh, in other words, I was trying to abuse myself because I I just abandoned myself in the middle of uh, challenges because I feel like embarrassed when I try to compare myself with others, and I looked at others and they looked so cool. When I compare it to myself, I feel so discouraged by my condition. That is another word for abuse, for abusive, I guess. So uh, I am myself still far from perfect, but don't you think that that is a brilliant way by showing to people how much you love yourself? Don't you think that is a brilliant and proper way to make a living by showing to people how much you love yourself and you cherish all of what is being given upon you? And second, no, I'm not trying to impress anybody but me. My look, as I told you, my look and my face have improved, and I want to document it. I even once wrote in my blog that I was going to go to Boston, and I believed I was going to Boston. It turned out I didn't. I failed at the application, but I never wanted to like erase it. I never wanted to like delete the post that I had made. uh, I believe it was in there as a reminder for me one day, how far have I gone. I believe that. So there need to be shame with your failures, because one day how do you know how far you have gone when when you are not being reminded that of your failures that you used to make, right? So my look and my face have improved. For example, I used to have lots of pimples. I even hated myself. Uh, so just because I try to cover my face once, that doesn't mean I'm scared to be seen as the way I am. So with my bare face and some issues are still on. So just because I try to cover myself with some makeup products, that doesn't mean I want to fool you to think me and my face, to think that I have such a very perfect skin face. No, no. My skin face is not perfect. Well, it is. It has improved, but I don't know. I don't think it is perfect either. Uh, but that's not the point. That's not the point. I mean, guess what? I could care less about what you are thinking. I mean, if some of you say that I look ugly right now, you know what? My confidence doesn't lies on the opinions of others, but my confidence lies in within me, and I am the one who can keep it from being taken from me. So my confidence is based on myself. So I don't know what you're thinking about myself. You may think that I look ugly, but guess what? I feel beautiful with or without makeup. Thank you. So another example is when I try to serve people videos in English, presenting them branded products in a such a very exclusive and the biggest mall in your hometown. Uh, People think like, oh, you must trying so hard to impress some wealthy companies or rich people. You trying to kiss their asses. Well, let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a story. There are two guys rented a same room in a house. Um, the name the names of the guys were A and B. Let us put it that way, A and B. So A and B went to the same room. Uh, at first, they were so good and well mannered until the daughter of the owner asked them a job for both of them, but only one of them considered to take it. But however, at the end, he didn't accept it. He rejected it, and she was okay with it. Uh, later on, uh, some of them even came back again, asking for another offer, which was none at that time. Well, uh, the more you know about them, the more you realize you know nothing about them. Because of what? A and B, A and B turns out got into fights and quarrels a lot. That makes you wonder if they fight a lot, how come they decided to join myself, join themselves? I'm sorry, my English is so bad. To join themselves together in the same room at the first place, when the fact is they don't like each other. So they don't like each other. So you know, cut the long story short. Cut the long story short. Uh, Somehow uh, they act out over the course of time. They show their true color, and well, actually they're just young people, so they're not bad. It's just they act out. They act out, and they got kicked out by the owner of the house took on the daughter's owner their level of dissatisfaction towards the act and made clear to her that uh, how they think about the renting house. The renting house is not on their level. They deserve better. That's why they left. They said they found a better one, a much proper one. But you know what funny about the story is? What's funny about the story is um, 7 days after the incident, the owner of the renting has kicked out another of the A and B's friends, which is C. Let's call it that way. Let's put it that way, because uh, she was being caught up in the act. Uh, she was being caught up in the act. She was secretly snuck in A or B or perhaps both of them. I mean, who knows? I wasn't in there. I wasn't in there when the scene was happening. So C is secretly snuck in B or A or B or both of them. I mean, who knows? But isn't it funny? I mean, they claim they found better room, never wanted back the shitty room, spit it out at the owner and the daughter. I mean, what kind of a woman who's being cheated, beaten out, abused by a man is willing to go back to the same man who hurt her like over and over and over and over again? I mean, don't you have somewhere else to go? Don't you have someone else to make a relationship with? Don't you have self-respect of yourself? Don't you have like loss over yourself? Don't you have anywhere else to go? When you said to yourself, clearly you didn't want that place, that you had found a better one, yet you came back. You came back after you were being humiliated? Well, another story is my TV was gone a week ago. How can some man, how can some man being so brave and cleverly execute the scene unless they learned about a condition where the TV is being put, and that lesson can somehow come from themselves as the outsider and others, like a housekeeper as a insider. I mean, uh, that is possible, right? Who knows? It's just, what I'm trying to say is I've seen a lot of my friends during my high school who were being so brave and vocal. I used to be coward, weak, naive, and stupid. Yes, I was. And I've I've witnessed a lot of my friends who are being so brave and so vocal. Uh, they are they they tend to be so brave to speak out and to say whatever they want to say, regardless whatever happens around them, regardless the authority or the powerful people. They speak out, but during times they can be silenced. They can be silenced in the name of their needs. I've seen a lot of my friends. I've seen a lot of my friends who are mocking at people who have a lot of money when they were young, and when they grow up, they ended up trying so hard to be one of them that they used to mock. And I have learned that in the name of needs, people change, and there are two possibilities of the changes. The first one is good, and the second one is bad. And unfortunately, some good people can be changed in the name of needs into bad. And um, it's whether you like it or not, it's a fact, and it is based on the field. Uh, and the fact is, a poverty plays a part of that fact. So just because you see people with money and cars rich as hell, you think that they have sin, you hate them when you have no idea how poor they used to be. But you are blinded. You're blinded by your jealousy. You hate them simply because their money. So, uh, what I'm trying to say here is, if you can show respect to poor people who are still at the same place as you, how come you cannot respect people who made it out of that situation, trying to embrace people who are still in their old situation and wanted to help them? I'm not trying to impress some companies, you know, I'm trying to impress myself. As it turns out, I can respect everybody, whether they are rich or not, whether they're rich or poor, whether they come from the same or different backgrounds from me compared to me, uh, because people like to think, you know, when you take, when you eat, for example, when you eat A, just because you eat A, some people think that you hate B. Just because you hang out with rich people, they think that you are against poor. I'm telling you, you cannot always count on the poor people as well. You cannot always count on the rich people. It takes both the rich and poor to work together to create to create the magic to uh, 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 to create the magic or the result that you want. It takes everybody to work together to make something happen, believe it or not. So it's not about rich or poor. It's about we are in this together. So the point is, whether they are rich or poor, everybody deserves some love and respect, of course. So put that in your mind. So good luck playing with labels, but once you get disappointed at them, please let me know. I'll be just right here because I am free. Thank you. Now back to the reason behind the video that I serve you this video in full English. You know, the real reason behind it is actually far from what you are thinking. I'm I'm using like full English in this video because I wanted to show you of how good my skill when it comes to speak English. No, as I told you before, I didn't want to impress anybody but myself. Uh, I didn't want to prove to anybody but myself. My English was so bad. My English was so poor. You know, I once tried to take a TOEFL test. I failed. I took the TOEFL test for the second time. I still failed. I failed in a row. Yeah, believe it. And uh, well, I didn't actually fail. I got 80. I got 80 as the score. Uh, uh, in my country, Indonesia, if you apply for a scholarship that is being held or provided by the government, 80 actually 80 as the score for IBT TOEFL test is actually acceptable. However, it is minimum score. In states, however, 80 is not even considered as score because they have 100 as its standard. Yeah, I 100 for minimum score. So Not to mention, some colleges or university ask for GRE. GRE is another type of test. It is it is way more difficult compared to TOEFL when the TOEFL itself is actually a challenge that I didn't succeed to face. If I didn't even if I even failed at TOEFL, how am I supposed to take a grade? GRE, that's logical, right? So you need to you need to provide GRE test score if you apply to certain programs in some universities or colleges, most of universities and most of colleges in states. So, and I believe GRE test also has like minimum score, just like the TOEFL, uh, and it's way more difficult than TOEFL. It has rather unusual and uncommon vocabularies that in TOEFL alone, I found out that there are lots of vocabularies that I didn't even know the meaning in Indonesia, let alone how am I supposed to face GRE if I didn't even understand the language. You know what I'm trying to say? And uh, so can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? I always make excuses. I always make excuses because it's logic, right? It makes sense. Uh, I tend to get I tend to got frustrated about my situation, and I felt like so miserable about myself. I blamed myself a lot, and I thought over and over to give up because I thought to myself that that's it. You're not gonna make it. You are not like what you're thinking. Just accept your condition and uh, be settled about it, whether you like it or not. So yeah, uh, I always because even if I wanted to try to level up my skill when it comes to English, I didn't have enough resources to make it happen. I mean, I mean, I didn't, and I still don't have people to talk to when it comes to practice my English in the daily life. The TOEFL IBT comes in four sections. The first one is reading. The second or the third uh, are between listening and speaking section, and the last section is writing. And the writing section is actually the writing section is actually where the section that I got the best score compared to the rest. And yeah, I like a lot when it comes to writing in English. That's how I got that kind of score. But of course, um, when you got when you got like the result of your TOEFL, it comes with uh, it comes with the evaluation about your reading, your writing, your listening, and your speaking. Even though my score in writing is good, uh, it is said that I am still lag when it comes to enriching myself to certain vocabularies. My vocabularies are still basic. Uh, they are not even worth to be considered as academic vocabularies. Not to mention, I think the hardest part is doing listening and speaking. I never practiced speaking. I never practiced speaking before until now. Uh, that's that's why I thought to myself I shouldn't do it anymore. I should even try it anymore because I didn't have anybody to speak English with in not just not just in my current place in quite small town, but in the capital city alone. When you try to speak English as an Indonesian, some people may laugh at you, and they laugh at you because most people speak in, of course, Indonesian language, and you don't want to add trouble to yourself by trying to add the more barrier to your life, which is barrier language. I mean, how come you get what you want? For example, just a simple thing when you buy a thing in a shop or let's say some supermarket, when they don't even understand what you are trying to say to them. So if you know what I'm saying, I didn't take any courses, of course, because I also expensive, and I wanted to set budget for the things uh, that are useful later. I mean, there's nothing wrong in doing that, right? To saving your money, but unfortunately, I realized I cannot do this alone. I need some help in terms of teaching. So I need to take courses for both GRE and TOEFL. Not to mention to you, uh, the TOEFL test price, uh, the TOEFL test price, the TOEFL test price comes in American US dollar. So compared to my currency, American or US dollar is way higher. Well, of course, not to mention the GRE test price, not to mention the courses price, not to mention to you that the GRE test is only being provided by the capital city in Indonesia, which is Jakarta. Jakarta is the only city uh, where GRE test is being available. So you need like, and the price for airplane and the price of airplane since the Lion Air incident has became like double or even triple from it used to be. So, yeah, so you see what I'm trying to say. It makes me much more difficult when it comes to just trying to fulfill a requirement, just trying to meet up the conditions of like a scholarship or an application. I mean, if you a U.S. citizen yourself, meeting the condition of a university application is actually not an easy task. Can you imagine the challenge is being faced by an international student? So it comes double when it comes to a challenge. But but it is hard, but it is not impossible because guess what? There are some people out there who conquer to fulfill all the requirements. See how bad my English is. The requirements or the condition because they got their scholarship. Uh, so uh so you know I think again. I was thinking and I was thinking and I was thinking and I was thinking. Resources don't always have to come in the form of something called as money, right? Resources can come in all different forms. For example, like your time, your energy, or anything like just uh, grab your grab your phone and open the camera and make a video and practice yourself in English in a YouTube video. I mean, That's when I decided to. I mean, I didn't have to spend my time being pathetic over myself, uh, bitching about I'm not having enough resources to do what I want to do. That's why I'll never get what I wanted. In this case, to do more to improve my English skill. Uh, but after I rethought about everything, I still have something to do to improve my English skill. Just start from whatever you can find around you, right? So I decided to just grab my phone and making videos on YouTube in full English because I can half in and half out, or the result may not come in a full but in a half too, if you know what I'm trying to say. So, so uh, there is a phrase in English that says practice makes perfect. Uh, that's when I decided to take my English practice to the next level. Isn't that great? Uh, doesn't that sound great to you? So, as I told you before, I always said, well, I got nobody to talk to when it comes to English in my daily life. I always, uh, I always said to myself, no wonder my speaking, my listening, and my reading becomes so bad. But hey, uh, it's better be late than not doing it, I guess. So, so I cannot do everything half in, half out, or else the constant result may not show. So, do please help me. Just comment me down below whether my English sounds so poor, or I need to practice more on the pronunciation because I do agree at some point that I need to enrich my vocabularies. I even uh, I even practice myself regularly to open Quora as my reading practice, because in there I'm not just getting like honest real experience, very raw material from people straight from the field. Uh, However, I still look over the Quora in Indonesia. Uh, I heard once, I heard once that there was this guy or a girl, I forgot where did I hear it. Uh, he he prepared himself before taking the TOEFL test by reading at least about 50 or 100 articles to prepare himself to face the TOEFL. Uh, but I think the listening part is so hard to do because, as I told you, I don't have anybody to talk to with. How am I supposed able to hear people to talk in English if it is not through YouTube videos alone? Well, everybody has different opinion. So I think, can you imagine the listening part is so hard. I mean, let alone when you are obligated to make statement in the speaking sections, and you try to arrange the words in Indonesia first. You try to translate all the questions that they serve in English with unusual vocabularies that you never heard before, and then you try to translate the Indonesian words to English words and try to arrange the English words too to serve it in rather much make sense way, if you know what I'm trying to say. So the point is, some people made it. So, and they're not even Albert Einstein's grandsons or granddaughters. So, but they prepare best of themselves. So, That's it. You have to answer. Uh, that things sometimes. Uh, you need to learn things. You need to learn to see things beyond what meets the eyes. That is something that I wanted to tell you as the closure of this video. So, please be kind and supportive. Uh, or you can even comment, or you can even comment or say whatever you want to say, even if it's gonna be bad words. Because even even if you want to say ugly things, because it doesn't matter for me. It doesn't matter for me. What matter is the learning itself. Other things that come with the learning is just part of the learning. So yeah, of course, there's gonna be good and there's gonna be bad. It's just part of the journey. Uh, I'm not going to take it personally. So what matter is I am learning new words every day. So thank you for watching this video and see you next time. Bye.